It is an understatement to say that H1 2024 results were disappointing and humbling.
Jeep, the name that once stood for rugged adventure and unstoppable reliability, is in trouble, and it's bigger than anyone expected. Sales are plummeting, loyal fans are walking away, and dealerships are overflowing with unsold models. The brand that helped define off-road dominance is now facing an identity crisis that's shaking the entire car market. And then came the bombshell announcement from Jeep CEO, a move so unexpected it has everyone asking, can this legendary brand survive, or are we witnessing the fall of an icon? Jeep has always been a brand that stood for adventure and resilience. For decades, it was the go-to name for anyone who wanted to explore the outdoors, conquer off-road trails, or simply own a vehicle that symbolized freedom. Jeep didn't just make cars, it created a lifestyle. Owning a Jeep was like joining a club of adventurers where the open road, or no road at all, was the only plan you needed.
Let's check out this Wagoneer. Solid wheels. I love those step bars. Very massive back. Kind of nice looking machine.
But something's changed. The brand that once represented rugged simplicity and dependability seems to have lost its way. Instead of sticking to what made it iconic, Jeep has been trying to reinvent itself, aiming for a luxury market that doesn't quite align with its core values. Vehicles like the Grand Wagoneer, with price tags exceeding $100,000, send a confusing message. Is Jeep still about tackling rugged trails, or is it trying to compete with brands like BMW and Mercedes? This shift has left many longtime fans feeling alienated, unsure of what Jeep really stands for anymore. The heart of the problem lies in an identity crisis. Jeep used to be crystal clear about what it was: a rugged, no-nonsense brand for adventurers and everyday drivers who valued toughness and reliability. These days, it feels like Jeep is trying to be everything to everyone. Luxury SUVs, high-tech features, and soaring price tags have blurred the brand's focus. For many, the magic of Jeep wasn't just in its ability to climb mountains or cross rivers, it was in its accessibility and authenticity. By moving away from these roots, Jeep risks losing the very audience that made it a household name.
Company, I don't know what their end plan is, because they certainly don't tell us. But for 2.5 years, we've explained to them that we think we're on a bad path and nothing's been done to it.
Jeep is in serious trouble, and the numbers tell a story that's hard to ignore. Sales are dropping across the board, and it's not just a small dip, it's a free fall. The Jeep Gladiator, which was supposed to be a big game changer in the pickup market, has seen sales plummeting by 21%. That's a big hit for a vehicle that was once celebrated for its bold design and off-road capability. Even the Wrangler, a name that practically defines Jeep, is having a tough time. It used to be the go-to choice for off-road enthusiasts, but these days, fewer people are driving off the lot with one. And the Grand Cherokee, which built a reputation as a luxurious yet capable SUV, is struggling to find buyers in a market packed with options. Dealerships are feeling the pinch too. Walk into one and you're likely to see rows of Jeeps sitting unsold, no matter how many discounts and incentives they offer. It's like a bad cycle. The more vehicles they can't sell, the more it hurts the brand's image, making people even less likely to buy. At this point, the unsold inventory isn't just a headache for dealerships, it's a glaring sign that Jeep has miscalculated its strategy. The ripple effects go even deeper. Stellantis, Jeep's parent company, is dealing with some harsh realities. Stock values have dropped by 42%, and profits have been almost halved compared to where they went just a year ago. Those aren't just terrible numbers, they're a wake-up call for a brand that once seemed untouchable. For a company like Stellantis, these kinds of financial hits don't just stay on paper. They affect everything from production decisions to employee layoffs and the long-term reputation of the brand. Jeep is finding itself in a tough spot, and a big part of the problem is its pricing. For years, Jeep was known for offering rugged vehicles that were accessible to adventurers and everyday drivers alike.
That's caustic. We have 900 dealers in the country that are actually losing money, and a bunch that are really close to it.
In the same time period, the values of those dealerships have plummeted from 5 to 5.5 times earnings to 1 to 2 times, depending on the dealership's location.
But recently, owning a Jeep has started to feel out of reach for a lot of its loyal customers. Models like the Wrangler and the Grand Cherokee, which used to represent a perfect balance of capability and value, have seen their price tags climb to levels that rival luxury cars. For many buyers, that's a deal breaker. Take the Wrangler, for example. It's always been the poster child for off-road freedom, but when you look at how much it costs, it's hard not to question whether it's still worth it. The base price for a Wrangler is edging into territory that makes people wonder if they're better off looking at something like the Ford Bronco. The Bronco offers similar off-road capabilities with a modern twist, but its price feels more reasonable for what you get. And then there's the Grand Cherokee. Once a standout choice for luxury and practicality, it's struggling to justify its steep costs when alternatives like the Toyota 4Runner or Subaru Outback Wilderness offer great features at more wallet-friendly prices. The situation is made even worse by rising interest rates and higher monthly payments. Even if someone is willing to stretch their budget to buy a Jeep, the financial burden is heavier than ever. Loan payments are higher, and for many buyers, it's just not worth it. Why spend extra on a Jeep when you can get a competitor's model for less money and possibly better reliability? Jeep has always been known for its ruggedness and durability, but in recent years, cracks have started to appear in that reputation. The brand that once symbolized reliability and adventure is facing some serious issues that are making buyers think twice. Quality concerns are piling up, and they're not just minor inconveniences, they're the kind of problems that erode trust in a big way. One of the biggest red flags has been the number of recalls Jeep has had to issue. These aren't for small things like cosmetic fixes. We're talking about critical safety issues. Recalls for airbags that don't deploy correctly or braking systems that could fail are serious problems that put drivers and passengers at risk. It's not just one or two isolated incidents either. The frequency of these recalls have left many people wondering if Jeep is paying enough attention to the quality of its vehicles before they hit the market. And on top of that, there are reports of transmission failures and persistent electrical problems across several Jeep models. The Cherokee, for instance, has been called out for the transmission issues that can leave owners stranded unexpectedly.
Basically, Carlos set targets for the North American team, and when the North American team did not achieve those targets, he simply started exchanging managers.
The Compass has faced complaints about electrical glitches that make it feel unreliable, especially for a brand that built its name on dependability. Even the iconic Wrangler has struggled with problems like leaky roofs, engine troubles, and recurring safety calls. For a flagship model, that's a tough pill for Jeep fans to swallow. What's making things worse is that Jeep isn't just facing criticism, it's falling behind its competitors in reliability rankings. Brands like Toyota and Subaru constantly top the charts for building cars that people can count on. When you buy a Toyota or Subaru, you're buying peace of mind, and that's something Jeep isn't delivering right now. For consumers, it raises a big question. Why pay a premium for a Jeep when you could spend the same or less on a vehicle that's known for being trouble-free?
Why the Jeep Wrangler is clearly one of the worst vehicles you can buy right now. Number one is the price, the sheer value price, and its lack of value proposition. Yes, the price is high. Have you seen these? Have you priced them out lately? You get into one of these four-door versions, we upscale, and you could pay a fortune. You could pay 5 Series BMW money.
While Jeep struggles to find its footing, its competitors are stepping in to fill the gap, and they're doing it with confidence. Ford, Toyota, Subaru, and even newer names like Rivian are capitalizing on Jeep's missteps, offering vehicles that deliver what today's drivers really want. Each competitor brings something unique to the table, and Jeep is starting to look outdated by comparison. Take the Ford Bronco, for example. It's a masterclass in balancing nostalgia and modern appeal. The Bronco brings the retro charm of its original design, but it's packed with features that today's drivers demand. It's rugged, capable, and most importantly, it's priced in a way that feels fair. For adventure seekers who want off-road capability without breaking the bank, the Bronco is an easy choice. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.